is the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 15. If a skillful man hear a wise word, he will commend it and add unto it. But as soon as one of no understanding heareth it, it displeaseth him, and he casteth it behind his back. Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai, Brakata Yahweh, Brakata Yahweh Shai. Yahweh is the name who the world ignorantly calls God, and Yahweh Shai is his son who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. First and foremost, I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai's sake. I'm Brother Samak from the GMS Miami Camp. And yes, the reason why I brought out the book of Ecclesiasticus, also known as the book of Sirach, chapter 21, verse 15, is that I want to add, skillfully add to Apostle Bar's recent lesson regarding the Feast of the Beast that's coming up. All right. He did a lesson recently over the weekend regarding the Feast of the Beast. Okay. And so I decided to, do some research and basically ask, what major events occurred, okay, or tragedies occurred, in history regarding these upcoming days. And I found this article, and I just want to skillfully add because, hey, we're in a time of great judgment. This ain't a time to be reckless, be drunken off this world. This ain't a time, and it should never be the time. All right, you're supposed to be sober. All right, be vigilant. Okay, because all right, these elites, in these secret societies, they ritualize. Okay, meaning sacrifice a lot of people. Okay, on these specific days. Okay, and so and really it actually starts around April 15th. That's when it really kicks off, because you're gonna see a particular pattern within this article. All right, but the point is that you're supposed to be circumspect. You're supposed to be on your watch. In fact, I got the scripture right here. Ephesians chapter 5, verse 15. See then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise. Right. Knowing the time that we're in. Okay. We're in perilous times. Okay. 16. Redeeming the time. See? Because the days are evil. All right. And when you go into the NLT version, it's make the most of every opportunity in these evil days. Right. And what is... Okay, making the most of every opportunity, serving the Lord, being obedient, all right? Teaching the truth, okay? Warning, all right, the Lord's people, the children of Israel, which make up the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans for the most part, okay? So if you call yourself a man of the Lord, you're supposed to be warning, all right? Because, hey, again, it's always around this time where major events happen. Okay, the Feast of the Beast. All right, and I'm just skillfully adding to what Apostle Bar brought out in his recent lesson. So let's get into this. All right, and this is why we say double honors, because they taught us the truth on how to move in this filthy, wicked world while we wait on the Lord. Okay, and I highly recommend brothers and sisters. All right, do not go out from now till freaking maybe mid-May. Okay, just stay away from large crowds. Okay, that's just my recommendation, because all right, you're gonna see, always events happen around this time where a mass casualties, a lot of people die. 14 tragedies in history that happened the week of April 15th to the 21st, right? For some reason, the week of April 15th to 21st, and it's really to May 1st, because May 1st is May Day. May Day, that's the Illuminati, the creation of the Illuminati by Adam Weishaupt, okay? May 1st, 1776. Has been usually cruel in history. Over the years, that time period has been referred to as the cruelest week, right? The cruelest week. Historically, the week of April 15th is no stranger to tragedy. While disaster can strike at any time, an unusual number of tragic events seem to take place on a few inauspicious days in April. That's a nice $100 word. Eerie coincidence? In most cases, yes. Okay, or, okay, if you understand that at the end of the day, okay, is the left-hand side at work, okay, and it's under the authority of the Most High, all right, because he does good and evil. In fact, let me bring that out, okay, because at the end of the day, who gets the glory for this judgment? The Lord, okay. He always gets the glory. Yeah, he'll use, the physical counterpart of Satan, Esau, Edom, but at the end of the day, the Most High gets the glory, okay. Who gets the glory? Esau, or there's the Most High? Isaiah chapter 45, and I'll get to the point, verse 7. I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord Yahweh, do all these things. You see that? Okay. Let's get who the Lord created. He created the wicked, right? Proverbs 16 and 4. Proverbs 16 and 4. The Lord had made all things for himself, yea, even the wicked for the day of evil. Right. So who gets the glory? Who gets the praise and the honor? Okay, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. Okay. Now we like to always bring out, quantify, okay, that yes, the physical counterpart of Satan, Esau, Edom, all right, he'll be the one, okay, orchestrating, all right, in the physical realm these events, but ultimately is of the Lord, all right, to bring judgment, because who gets judged? Wicked people, okay? Wicked people get judged, okay? That's why it says in the book of Job, chapter 4, verse 7, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? You see that? Okay? So, people that die in a tragic event, as they call it, in a horrific event, they weren't innocent. They were getting their judgment. So check it out. So it goes on and says, below is a list of 4 historic tragedies in chronological order that happened during the week of April 15th to the 21st. That's why you got to be on your watch, because, hey, we got this war going on, okay? You got articles that Russia's supplying Iran with all types of weapons, okay? At the port that's Iran has in the Caspian Sea, okay, and this was during the ceasefire, okay. So really, what's happening? Both sides are arming themselves again because the war is not going away. World War III is here. Just get used to hearing that, okay. Deal with it. You also have Forbes talking about, will Iran war result in a nuclear weapons transfer to the Middle East? Okay. So this is very interesting. Why is Forbes writing an article like this? I thought Forbes is focused on, okay, financial news. Very interesting. Okay, or reporting the rich elite. Well, not really the rich elite. The ones that are the disciples of the super elite. But like they always report about Elon Musk and stuff like that, right? But this is very interesting, okay? And this is why, again, you gotta be circumspect and be on your watch. So the first one was Abraham Lincoln. He got his wig blown away April 15th, 1865 by John Wilkes Booth, Okay, and there's a lot of conspiracy with this event. Okay, all right, pertaining to Lee Harvey Oswald and and Kennedy. Okay, um, so yeah, so that's an event. San Francisco earthquake in California happened April 18th, 1906. Okay, it killed between 700 and 3,000 people. All right, the Titanic. The Titanic went down April 15th, 1912. Okay, these are major events. Okay, okay, it's not a coincidence. This is the will of the Lord. What was Lulo massacre in Colorado? How many died in Lulo, Colorado? Mass shooting on April 20th, 1914. Okay. Oh, speaking of mass shooting, remember Columbine? Um, Columbine shooting year. April 20th, 1999. Columbine, remember that? Mass shooting. Okay. All right. This is someone who has an, okay, when somebody says, I have an IQ, then you should be able to pattern recognition. Okay. This is how you determine who has a high IQ. Okay. And all IQ means is intelligence quotient, which means intelligence, which means what? Wisdom. Okay. Getting intel, getting knowledge. All right. And then quotient means to divide. Okay. And you determine, all right, who has a high IQ by pattern recognition, discernment, reasoning, logic. Okay. And that's how you know these Edomites, these so-called white people, they have a low IQ, man. All right. They're the real idiots. They can't see, okay, that they're being played, all right, by the government, that they're begging to help them out. Was it Donald Trump? He tried to he took it off his account, but he tried to present himself as, okay, their god, their false god, Jeebus, he healing somebody. Okay, he was trying to be like Jeebus. Okay, and that offended a lot of these MAGA plantation Christian rejects. Okay. So continue on, not to go off on a tangent. Just want to throw out why these Edomites have low IQ. They don't discern. They don't have pattern recognition. What was Lulo massacre in Colorado? How many died in Lulo, Colorado mass shooting on April 20th, 1914? This is when the Colorado National Guard lit up the miners. All right, so this was basically a slaughter. Okay, the National Guard killed a whole bunch of American citizens. All right, and children. So you don't think they'll do that now? Okay, you don't think the National Guard will open fire on their own citizens? Of course they will. It happened before. It'll happen again. Pattern recognition. What was the Hillsborough disaster in England on April 15, 1989? How many died in a fatal crowd crash at Hillsborough Football Stadium? Yep, April 15, 1989. 96 people were crushed to death, and 76 were injured. Waco siege or Waco disaster in Waco, Texas ends on April 19th, 1993. Yup, Waco. All right, this is when the ATF killed that whole family and children, including children. You don't think the government can do that again? Okay. All right. When was the Oklahoma City bombing in Oklahoma? How many died in Oklahoma City bombing? Right, April 19th, 1995. Okay. Up, Columbine. Okay, they had it up there. All right, there's your Columbine. All right. How many died in the Virginia Tech shooting on April 16th, 2007? Okay. How many died in Deepwater Horizon disaster or BP oil spill on the Gulf of Mexico on April 20th, 2010? Okay. You think this is a coincidence? No. All right. All right. This is a judgment. All right. Now, of course, the elites are behind it. All right. But at the end of the day, okay, it's the Lord bringing the judgment. That's the point. Okay. He uses the left-hand side, all right, so that prophecy can be fulfilled. How many died in Boston Marathon bombing in Boston, Massachusetts, April 15th, 2013? You see that? How many died in West fertilizer explosion in Texas on April 17th, 2013? Okay. What happened at Notre Dame Cathedral fire in Paris on April 15th, 2019? Yeah, there was a fire at a church. Okay. All right. What happened at Florida State University shooting on April 17th, 2025 in Tallahassee, Florida? Okay. So, again, these events happen, okay, all within within days, okay, around this time, okay. Every year something happens. So you think this year, there it's going to be a quiet? No, something's going to happen again. Okay, and we'll see what's presented. All right, we'll see if does it have to do with this war. Does it have to do with a cyber attack? Okay. All right. And they'll blame it on Iran. Okay. Oh, will there be another school shooting? Okay. All right. So this is, again, I'm just skillfully adding to Apostle Bar's lesson because, hey, at the end of the day, all right, um, we living in the end times, and it's it's very dark. Okay, it's what's it called? It's a lot of wickedness. All right, and we have to endure. You know, we have to endure all this. All right, for salvation. Okay, so I just want to bring this out as well, and this is why you got to watch and pray. Mark chapter 13, verse 32. But of the day and that hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels which are in heaven, neither the Son, but the Father. Verse 33. Take ye heed, watch and pray, for ye know not when the time is. Right, so you're supposed to be watching and praying, okay? Watching, okay? What are you doing on your free time, okay? Are you still watching sports? Are you still playing video games? Now, there's nothing wrong to indulge in that, all right, in terms of balance, but if that's what's consuming you, are you, okay, and you're not uh, warning your people and serving the Lord, okay, then okay, you're not going to be delivered, okay, because you're supposed to be watching and praying, all right, you know, especially if you know this truth. You're supposed to be watching, praying, okay, warning your people, okay, of what's to come, getting the blood off your hand. 34. For the Son of Man is as a man taking a far journey who left his house and gave authority to his servants. Right. The Lord told us to do what? All right. Go out and teach the children of Israel. Okay. Tell them, okay, to do what? To repent. Okay. Bring them back to the fold. All right. Warn them. And to every man his work, and commanded the porter to watch. Commanded. So this ain't an option. This is why those that know that the Israelites, a lot of y'all not gonna make it either. This ain't an option. This ain't like, well, I want to do it. I choose to do it when I feel like it. No, the Lord commanded. Do you know what the word commanded means? It's an order. An order. Okay? Command. Plain. You got people here talking about, all right, they're serving the Lord, but they're not following the order of the Lord, man. And command the porter to watch. And you're supposed to be watching, okay? Watching for these prophecies, man. 35. Watch ye therefore, for ye know not when the master of the house cometh, at evening or at midnight or at the cock crowing or in the morning. All right? Now, that doesn't mean because, Jake is so simple. Brother, do I have to be up 24/7, my eyes wide open? No. It's a mindset, okay? Where's your mind at? Are you watching for the prophecies? Or are you just looking for, the next football game or the next, the next woman you want to lay down with, all right? Or you're trying to, what's it called? Get all this money, which the money's about to fail. It's going digital. That's another thing. You got pseudo Hebrew Israelites camps out there. They're not even warning their congregation that everything's about to go digital. Physical cash is about to go bye-bye because it's all leading to the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. Okay? And best believe, when the next tragedy comes, a lot of things are about to change. Okay? Rights are about to be taken away. More security is about to be put in. Okay? More surveillance. All right? Because it's all leading to the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. So you're supposed to be watching for these prophecies. Okay? 36, lest coming suddenly he finds you sleeping. 37, and what I say unto you, I say unto all, watch. So you're supposed to be watching, man. Okay? All right? The true high IQ are the elect of the nation of Israel. Those are the ones that have the high IQ. Okay? I'm taking that word back too. Okay? All right? We're taking it all back. All right? You Edomites have the low IQ. All right? I can't stand you Edomites. You're so proud. All right? You're so proud, man. Too damn proud. That's why the Lord going to jack you up. And he's bringing America down. Your country's on its way out, man. Anyway, back to the topic, to our people, Ezekiel chapter 33, verse 7. So thou, O son of man, I've set thee a watchman unto the house of Israel. Therefore thou shalt hear the word of my mouth and warn them from me. And that's why we're on the highways and byways. That's why we're doing these lessons, to warn our people. You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. And the Israelite foreigners that are scattered among the nations that even look like the other nations. Because you're going to have Israelites that are going to look like a JJ, a 1948 or small hat, a Caucasian, an East Indian, Persian. Guaranteed there's an elect out there in Persia, okay? Out there in Iran, just hiding out, watching. Well, I think there's a internet blackout, but he got the truth, and the Lord's guiding him, okay? Because we were scattered, all right, we were scattered. So you're gonna have Israelites that are gonna look like these other nations, okay? So because this isn't a color thing, this is a nationality thing. They're gonna subscribe themselves as an Israelite, as it says in Isaiah chapter 44, starting at the first verse. They're going to subscribe themselves to the house of Israel. So continuing on, verse 8. When I say unto the wicked, O wicked man, thou shalt surely die, if thou dost not speak to warn the wicked from his way, that wicked man shall die in his iniquity, but his blood will I require at thy hand. This is why we bring out the prophecy. Why do you think the apostles and elders always go into the prophecy? Always, like, for example, Apostle R, always bringing out the chip. Don't take the chip. Always bringing out the RFID chip. I know who else. Apostle Gabar just did the lesson today about the RFID chip, which is the mark of the beast. All right, because we have to warn our people of what's to come. Okay, because we don't want to die. Okay, because we didn't warn our people. Okay, they have to. We have to literally, get the blood off our hand. All right. 9. Nevertheless, if thou warn the wicked of his way to turn from it, if he do not turn from his way, he shall die in his iniquity, but thou hast delivered thy soul. And that's what we want. We ultimately want to be delivered. Okay? That's the goal. But if you warn them to repent and they don't repent, they will die in their sins, but you will have saved yourself. Right? And that's what we want. Salvation. We want to be delivered from this hell, from this cesspool, all right? From this wicked world, man. And clearly it's a wicked world. Just by showing you all these tragedies, why do you want to live in a world like this, man? You want to get up out of here, all right? This is demonic, all right? But at the end of the day, all right, these prophecies have to play out, and it's the will of the Lord to show that His words are faithful and true, okay? And to show you who the devil is, Esau, Edom, so-called white man. They're in the power seat, okay? They're the ones managing earth, and that's why everything is out of course. Everything's upside down. So, Lord willing, is us edifying. I just wanted to skillfully add to Apostle Gabar's lesson, Okay, and I came across an article, and Spirit jumped at me to bring out, and that's why you got to be watching as well as pray, because hey, something's gonna happen. All right, it's inevitable. All right, pattern recognition. Okay, starting yep, April 15th. Okay, well, starting this week, all the way to May 1st. Okay, they're gonna do their these rituals. They're gonna do their sacrifice. Feast of the Beast. All right, and that's why you need to be on your watch. All right. However, we know that at the end of the day, this is the will of the Lord, so that people can be judged and that prophecy can be fulfilled. Oh, by the way, celebrities. Okay, it's not a coincidence that all these celebrities died. Okay, around these times as well. The Pope. Okay, Virginia Giuffre. This is the one that all right, is on the picture with Prince Andrew. Okay, all right, and Jeffrey Epstein. House with also with Ghislaine Maxwell. Right, she supposedly committed suicide. That's not true. Right, you got Prince. He died. Okay, all right. Um, all these different celebrities and political figures, Madeleine Albright. So yeah, it's not a coincidence. This weirdo got put to death. The Wadiyah Bashim that was a necessary, sacrifice, because and that thing needs to get the fuck up out of here. Walter Mandel, again Prince. Thought they had more on this. Jeffrey Stiller, May 1st. Jerry Stiller, May 1st. A comedian. So it's very interesting that celebrities, athletes, political figures, and there's more, but this is what I asked the AI to bring up. All right, they all die around this time too. So get ready for celebrities to get put to death as well. So Lord willing, this is us edifying. I want to give all praises and all glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who grew well and taught us this truth. They are the true teachers for the nation of Israel on earth today. And salutation to the Akim out there pushing this truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth and risking their life for Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai's sake. Love you, brothers. Keep enduring, keep the faith, keep pushing, keep fighting, keep studying. Pray without ceasing. Pray for each other. Pray for the apostles, elders. We're almost out of here. To the fuses that are watching, keep studying. When you pray, pray at your head cover. Shalom.